Hey guys, Tony Lee Glenn here today, and I've gotten a new kind of cool monopod by Manfrotto. It is the 562B, made in Italy. And it has a ball down here on the bottom that allows you to sort of swivel and pivot your monopod. It stands really nice and firm. I've got a Canon HF G10 on top of it. And I can tell you, for panning, it looks very smooth. It's almost fluid head feeling. Now you can get a model of this that does have a fluid head on the top of it. I see here on the Manfrotto, this was ordered by one of my co-workers, but if you get the 561B HDV, then it looks like you get the option of having this cool fluid head if you want to pan up and down. I can see this being real helpful for if you're going to go out and do an interview where you just want to stand it up, and this thing telescopes all the way up to it's higher than my head. So yeah, the way these feet work is you pull this back. See, I have these little things here, and you can raise that up and lock all those back into place. So there we go. When it all folds up, it folds up like that. And I'm guessing that the entire length of this is maybe, I don't know, 28 inches, something like that. And you've got down here on the bottom actually a nice little rubber stopper right there on the bottom in case you don't want to deploy the feet, if you just want to use it as a traditional monopod. And so I'll stand this up so you can see just how tall it is, but it's very nice. It's kind of got a little brass release here. You know, it's got your standard thing that you unscrew here to loosen a little bit, and you push that in and brass and it slides out. Then the mounting block up here that comes with it, you see where the camera is, this I think it was this one. You know, this portion right here that we're mounted to is probably, I'm guessing, 5 inches long on this. And I'm sure that's because, you know, you're going to want to balance your camcorder, right? So you can slide your camcorder forward or back till it gets it really well balanced. Okay, so here's the Manfrotto monopod fully extended, and I'm a 6'2", so you can get a good judgment call here. It's probably a good 6'4" or so tall. Stands very stable all by itself. I am going to perhaps tighten up these little screws at the bottom just to make it a little stiffer on the ball. But there you go. And I had a camcorder up on top of it just a minute ago, and it was balanced just fine. I probably would not use this out in the wind. So, you know, if you were outside somewhere and it was windy, then I would not leave it standing alone. I'd definitely keep a hand on it. But I think if you were going inside and wanted to use this as like a B-roll camera or a second angle, or my boss had even mentioned maybe making it a light stand. You could mount a light on top of it. So I've got a torch light, little LED light here that I have mounted on just a standard mounting block. Here's kind of how that stands. Let me go ahead and turn this on. I'll give you an example of how this would work, maybe as a lighting stand even. So you're seeing me just in standard light here. Now you're seeing me, I'm about 4 feet back. Boy, it's blinding me. About 4 feet back from the little torch light. Here we go, about maybe 6 feet back now. So now I just dialed the torch light back, and that's what it's like without the torch light. So there you go. It might even make a really nice little lighting stand for you here. So I can see multi-uses for this little configuration here. The Manfrotto 562B-1. Very nice, very substantial feeling little monopod. And I think I'm going to maybe even try to use it as, not a gimbal, but, you know, sort of something to semi-steady some things when I'm walking too. Highly recommend this. I think it's going to maybe transform, you know, the really down and dirty, fast angles and stuff, fast camera shoots. Because, you know, it takes a while to deploy something like this guy over here. It just doesn't happen fast when you're having to unscrew all that. And plus that is at least 3 times heavier than what I'm using right here. Okay, so I'm actually just walking a little bit with this right now on some, you know, fairly even pavement here, a little bit of mess and stuff in it. So I'm just using the Manfrotto monopod as a steady cam of sorts. And I realize this is not being the most steady, but I think if I applied warp stabilizer to it with Adobe Premiere Pro CC, it would probably work just fine. So I'm gonna go over here where I can pan around a little bit. So I've got my camcorder at eye level now, and I've got a hand on this, so I'm not just leaving it still. But let's zoom in and see how this would work if we were to zoom in on a car or something. So, you know, This is not as good as a tripod, but that's not bad. I'm zoomed in 100% with a Canon HF-G10. So this is with me still handling it. And our little pans here, let's do a quick pan. See, I'm zoomed 100% out now. I'll just do a little pan and see how much you think that looks like a fluid head. All the rotation is coming from the ball at the bottom. And it actually says something about fluid head resistance on the bottom. I don't know how exactly they've made that work. Not bad. Okay, so I have the monopod standing about 6 feet high, and I'm probably 5 feet away from it just in case a strong gust of wind comes and starts to blow it off. But as you can see, this will work just fine. I'm going to tighten these little bearings up in the bottom. It has some little Allen wrench places where you can do that. And I'm going to see if this won't work really outside even on non-windy days. But I think I would trust it up to about 6 feet tall. I've almost got it extended the full way. I just felt a little bit reluctant to go all the way to the top with it. You know, it'd be nice if you could pan up. The only way you can do that is lean it backward with this one. If you get that model that has the fluid head on it, though, you could probably even do some really nice panning side to side and up and down. Once again, I am holding this. That's where our helicopter lands, up top up there. I don't think the chopper's up there right now though. So yeah, this is kind of what you're going to be able to get. I think you could take this out into the wild, and I think it might be really nice to take you out on a hiking trip and see just what kind of video you can shoot. It's definitely steadier than my handheld. And like I say, you get a fairly satisfying pan here just with that little ball at the bottom. So here I am zoomed all the way. Oh, that spider jumped. So here I am shooting a spider. I'm 6 feet away from the full extent of that. Is pretty scary. The spider moves very quickly. So again, I'm using the Manfrotto monopod. I'm probably 5 feet away, and it allows me to hold it pretty steady. I could not do this handheld for sure.